Well, have you ever seen one of these before? It's a Black & Decker smart battery charger. 75 amp engine start, 25 amp, 10 amp, 2 amp charge rates. This is mine. I bought this brand new. Well, yeah, in the box at the Wally World. And some of the little nomenclature has fallen off, but it tells you what the codes might be. I can't really read them much anymore. And I do have the owner's manual right here. Look at that. Tells you how to charge it, blah, blah, blah. Equalization. Oh, yes, it does have a desulfator built into it. I actually hooked a scope up to it one time, years and years ago, back when I was at the TV shop. But, okay, so here's the problem. I love it. It works. No problem at all. Some of the switches are getting hard to press. You really got to mash down on them. Now, let me plug this thing in, even though I don't have a battery connected. It's going to get mad at me. There, it beeped. So it's doing the little circle check. It's probably going to come up with some kind of, I don't know, L02 or Z62. I don't know. But no action. You really got to push it. So they got AGM and wet and gel. And then even these FO2, no battery connected, engine start. So I'm wondering if I can replace these switches with some of the standard tactile switches that I have. They still work. I'm not really concerned too much about that. What I'm concerned about is this fan that lives up in here. It's like wow, 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 wow when it runs. And you know what? About a year after I bought this thing, I tore this thing apart and lubed that fan because it was starting to do the same thing. So I'm just wondering, I know I did it before, so I guess take the screws out. One moment. And just in case you're wondering, there is the original tag on the unit. Vector Manufacturing Battery Charger. VEC1095ABD. Input 120, 490 watts, 60 hertz. Engine start 1080 watts. Well, it's actually doing some work. Output 12 volts, 2, 10, or 25 amps continuous. Engine start 75 amps. Duty cycle 5 seconds on, 240 seconds off. Made in China, because once again, all the best stuff is made in China. Okay, let's tear this thing apart. Okay, well, I got the back cover off right there. And as you can see, it basically tells me AC, go here. DC, go there. Okay? But I'm pretty happy to see it has regular tactile switches, although it would be nice if this was reinforced a little bit, where the buttons actually push, like that. Maybe that's the whole problem. Do I need to put something back there? Because this is the inside of the back cover, and there's like this one little brace. Maybe that's all that pushes up against the circuit board, like right there maybe. Anyhow, let's I know I've been here before, like I said. Let's take a look at this fan. If I can get, will you really separate peacefully, please? Okay, close enough. And luckily they gave you an extra 18 feet of fan wiring, so that was very nice. And fan stuck. Because I know I've serviced this fan before. I know it. Well, let's give it a little bit of pry action here. There it goes. Well, it's a 12 volt, 250 milliamp fan. And I'm sure it's a totally sleeve bushing. And it, you hear that? It has a lot of run out. 2624 is the date on it. Of course, I wiped half of it off. And oh, that's because I peeled this up years ago. Right there. There's where I grabbed it. You can see it. Oh my gosh. Probably 10 plus years ago. So you pull this up and you can see the oil right there. And then you get a very fine little screwdriver. And you just open that up. Pop off that retaining ring and you can actually add lube to this. I don't think I can do it one-handed. Well, maybe. Look at that. Set that aside and lose it later. There's going to be a tiny O-ring on here. So I'm going to push this down. And then there is the tiny, tiny O-ring. Then you can actually take the fan apart and look at that is a totally sleeve bushing fan. Yep, well, that's why I tore it apart so many years ago and lubed it up. But let's go see if we can find a replacement ball bearing fan for this guy and see if that will make it last a minute and a half longer. Like I said, I bought this brand new. It was on clearance at Walmart. I think I paid 25 bucks for it. I would buy 5 more if I could. These things actually are excellent battery chargers, and the engine start works every single time. I've never had it let me down. Well, unfortunately, I dug through 3 boxes of fans that I have in my garage, as you can see right there, and no dice. I do not have anything even close to this. So I'm going to go ahead and go on the Fleabay or the Jungle website and see if I can find a replacement 12 volt 250 milliamp fan. So hopefully there'll be a part 2. Well, unfortunately, I cannot find anything locally sourced out of the US, so I had to order a replacement fan from China. Well, that's where it was built, so yeah. So for now, I'm just going to add a little bit of fresh oil back to the shaft, like I did probably 10 or 12 years ago. That way I can use the charger as I need it, because I do use it to maintain a couple of batteries. So I've got my little precision oiler here. And I'm going to soak this thing. Well, almost as good as new. All right, so I believe it went this way. Yes, pretty sure. Well, let's not leave you with absolutely nothing. Let's go ahead and replace the tact switches on this board before I go any further. So let's just see if I can remove the 2 screws easily. Well, they're barely hand tight. And so I'm just going to go ahead and unsolder the tact switches. There's the processor 69EA. And we'll install some new tact switches. And I'll put this baby back into operation. And hopefully a fan will arrive and we'll see part 2. Okay, well, I have the board prepped and ready to go. And I do have 5 brand new tact switches to install. I typically keep these things in stock. So solder sucker is warmed up. And we'll try to get this in view for you. All right, well, all back together there. Well, let's plug it in and see if the tact switches work any better than they used to. Oh yeah, much better. Yep, much better. Okay. Well, once the fan gets here, I'll pick this up with part 2. Everyone, thank you for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Have a great day. Bye-bye.